Won't you ask?
I might.
Woo! Man, it's the horns. It's the horns for me. There it is.
Are you okay?
What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Winners Lounge. Let's go! Let's go! Nuggets lose game 1 of Summer League. Do we go to the Losers Lounge? Absolutely
Hell
not.
no.
Absolutely not. We just wait till the next day and just have a regular pod. But when they win one, we
here.
sprint to the Winners Lounge, which happens to be somewhere in West Las Vegas, off of the Strip, but in the All-City House. We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR. Bet on Peyton Watson points. Take the over. The man is an offensive weapon, as he displayed tonight. We're going to get into all of that, talk about all the other guys. Jack White made an appearance tonight. We're going to talk about that. And to help me with it, I got the man with wind in his hair.
Very excited to talk about our guy, P. Watt.
Oh, man.
P. Watt.
We got a P. Watt. We got to push a P. I don't know if we're going to love Peyton Watson's nickname.
It's still a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. We're going to land on something good. Over here, a man that saw Top Gun 3 times and is wearing, for some reason now he decided to be the Unabomber. It's Brendan Vogt.
Peyton Watson, Ishmael Kamagate.
Hey.
Oh.
No.
Crafty Collin, steady Gillespie. Shout out to the fellas.
His vote.
That's Brendan Vogt.
Is he drunker than we realize he might be?
That's the worst part.
Yeah, he is stone cold
This is
sober
my first
until
beer.
that last
That's the
drink.
problem.
I had to make him put socks on, so this is actually him dressed better than his first go at it.
I can't believe you let him on the show like
I
this.
can't believe it. He's going to be leaving soon.
weight.
And over here, I got Superstar Dev.
The crazy part is I be with Vote and things be normal. He goes into the bathroom, comes back out. This is how he acts. I don't know what happened.
Second wardrobe decision.
No idea what happened.
This was
in there.
not like very planned out. This was spur of the moment.
Vote is done second guessing himself. This is the true Vote. We are
He
seeing
found
it.
himself in Vegas. First person to ever say that.
He did find himself in Vegas. We're not here to talk about that. Actually, later on, we are going to be talking about that.
Cool.
We're going to be joined by
could do
friend
more
of the
on
show,
me.
Andy Jewett. We're going to be joined by friend of the show / one of the hosts of the show, D-Line Co. And we're going to be joined by Ryan Green, a.k.a. the camera. That's what we call him, Ryan, the camera.
Also an employee at All City Now.
They'll be sharing their perspective on Summer League and kind of just having a good time as we close up the show. But we have to get to the meat of the conversation today, which is none other than P. Watt, a.k.a. Pusha P, as the players were calling him today, a.k.a. Peyton Watson. To set the stage, Game 1 of Summer League, 30th pick, much has been made about him. Does he have offensive talents? What can he do as a scorer? Only averaged 3 points per game. He was a real mystery pick. We were all surprised when the Nuggets drafted at 30 and they took a guy that appears to be a project. What is he going to be? Comes out in first game. I think a pretty disappointing debut in his Summer League, in his first Summer League game. Tonight, I thought he played better. Not just, obviously, he played better than the first game. He played better than what I had expected he would play at any point in Summer League. I thought if he plays 4 games, none of them would be as good as he was tonight. He was absolutely, I thought not just good, he was great. I believe we gave him a fire emoji on the Heat Index today.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. He did a little bit of everything. The defense was there. The offense was there. The three-point shot even was there tonight. Dev, what did you see from Peyton Watson?
I thought this was a perfect performance from P. Watt just because he brought a little bit of everything, but it was on the backs of having a horrible game.
Right.
Like, that was his debut for him to prove himself, and I know that he knows he did not do that. Everyone else talked about it, and he had to bounce back, and he does that. He goes inside. He finishes around the rim. But what really stood out is it was the effort that we were looking for the first time. He's diving for loose balls. He's getting on the floor. He's, trying to get up and grab every single rebound that came his way, and he also was, very positive on defense. So just seeing him have that type of effort, it didn't even have anything to do with the offense, and then that was just a plus. So, this was a A-plus performance from him.
What about you, Vote?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's the work rate. It's the off-the-ball stuff.
Yep.
Diving on a floor. He was everywhere. He stole an inbounds pass, which was cool. Nuggets fans like to see that.
So you want to know something weird about this? I'm not kidding. Our guy Cosmos, Brian Schroeder, a.k.a. Brian J. Draft on Twitter, who's a big draft guy, he actually had this tweet. I remember this from like 3 months ago where he said, this is a thing he does. He just does this a lot where he steals inbounds plays. It's weird to have what's the guy, Jose Alvarado? He has stealing the ball from hiding. It's like, this might be a thing for Peyton Watson. He's good at stealing inbound passes. It's a really weird and unique skill, but apparently he has it.
He's also really good at recovery, and he's also talked about wanting to not use that as a crutch and try to stay in front of people. I thought generally he was just better today. The effort was there. He had some defensive plays. He had a ridiculous summer league dunk.
Right. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
And again, I mean, few guys have come through Denver in the last few years that can do that, look that way. And so, but to me, he hits that. They get a stop. He hits that three. He comes back down the floor, and he has a look on his face. And that's a look on the face that guys have in the playoffs. This is a guy who did not get to play at UCLA.
Right.
Very much, I should say. And it killed him. It's very clear that he wasn't playing up to his standard, that he wasn't playing enough. And so Harrison asked him at practice, are you excited to be at Summer League for this reason? Man, he said he wanted to see his confidence build, and you could see it in that moment. He was hungry.
Yeah, and it's funny, we talk about effort. Sometimes we don't know what a guy's effort is. We don't know what's going through their head. We don't know this or that. Certainly in the first game, he wasn't making things happen. When guys are giving full effort, like things are just happening, like ball bounces your way, you pick up a 50-50 ball, this or that. Maybe it was effort, maybe it was nerves, maybe it was something else. Whatever it was, that went away. Tonight, to your point, Dev, he really was just around the basketball. Things were happening for him, and he just was winning 50-50 balls and doing a lot of that. And it is like a weight was lifted off him, and everything started going. That three-pointer at the end of the game, that basically was the like nail in the coffin or the dagger. That shot was like a full-on confident shot. He's not a great three-point shooter. He caught that one knowing he was about to make the game-saving three, and it was cool to see. Give me your overview.
Well, like you guys touched on, the motor and just the effort was there. That was obvious from the first couple minutes of the game. I remember he got on the floor for a loose ball right off the bat in the first quarter, and he wasn't giving that level of effort and energy in that first game. He missed a couple early shots in that first game, and then his effort kind of waned. So that was really great to see because he's got to be like the hardest playing guy in every game that he's in every practice that he's in. He's got to be that guy because, you know, that's how he could make an impact early on in his career if he's doing those types of things. Something you guys haven't hit on that I feel like we learned about Peyton Watson tonight. The guy can pass.
Yeah.
The guy can pass. They put the ball in his hands. He initiated some stuff on offense, and I asked him about it after the game. He said, look, I was a point guard growing up. I had this massive growth spurt in high school, and all of a sudden I was 6'8", and I was playing the three, but...
Didn't he say he wasn't even 6 feet when he came into high school?
Yeah, he was sub 6 feet. So he was a point guard and then grew into the small forward, but he can pass, he can play make a little bit, and we saw some of that tonight. That was really cool.
And finish confidently. I have a feeling the confidence word is what we're going to say a lot about this guy, and it might be what we're tracking the most. I do have one nitpick, and just in the interest of doing this right, I thought for some possessions there were same process, different result. The ball sticks a little bit still.
I think this is fair.
He does dribble a little bit too much for a guy who is still looking for his way to score, right? He's not bones on last year's Summer League team. Now, the results tonight were awesome, and you can earn that sort of patience when you're doing all the other little stuff, and he did. So I thought he was great tonight. But if I could see one thing change, Deb, in Game 3, maybe just quicker.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about confidence. I think what stood out is we got to see his personality.
I love this.
We got to see the guy that he truly is. He got to score a little bit more. He's playing around with the crowd.
Yeah.
Like that was him coming into his own, and I think that's who he truly is. It just wasn't working out for him. This is his first time having that type of atmosphere in a very long time where he's the guy, he's the man, and things are running through him. So I do think that he does need to pass the ball a little bit more, but this was his moment. I'm not passing it. I'm just going to stick with me a little bit more, too.
You've been in that situation
take that
before.
all in. Oh, for sure.
Well, you never pass anyways, but like you've been in that situation.
What a lie.
The dunk, I want to go back to the dunk because our guy RG caught 3 great photos of it somehow, all in a row. And when he went up for it, it looked like he was going to go through a hook shot, like a really awkward-looking hook shot. I thought for sure that was what he was doing, a little swooping Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shot. And it wasn't until somehow he brought it from here to a tomahawk, like it was what he was going to do the whole time. I thought he was going to get a hook shot blocked, and somehow he turns it into this poster dunk. The guy's got really long arms. He's got a really interesting skill set, and I do feel like this was, in some ways, a bit of a weight-off-the-shoulder game. You mentioned the college last year not getting a ton of opportunities. You mentioned, coming in and having a bad first game. I just felt like this was one of those ones where it was like, exhale. The good parts of his game really shine through tonight, and I feel one of the things we wanted to accomplish in Summer League, and it's not over, by the way. I'm not even halfway over. I imagine he'll play at least 4 games, if not more than that.
Sure.
But halfway through, we wanted to see what is it? What can he be? What's the perfect sort of thing for him? And I feel like already I kind of get it. Like, I see the parts that he's going to be a great defender, or this is the path for him. Great defense, on ball, blocking shots, even grab some rebounds. And then the other part of it is going to be offensively. I think he can be a slasher and a passer. And they even put the ball in his hand tonight. Early on in the game, they used him as sort of a point guard, initiating the offense with Kamagate, and I thought he did a pretty good job of it. So to me, I feel like I see what it is he is supposed to be.
I like the connection with him and Kamagate. It seems like they really do understand, and I'm not sure if that's like in the past, but Watson, he wants to be the initiator on the high-low. He's like really comfortable with the ball in that situation where he could either attack or throw it up and go get it. And Kamagate, he's huge. He's really athletic, and he's going to go finish it every single time. But, putting the ball in Watson's hands, he wants to make things happen. And I think that that's good, especially for him early on, because he's not an offensive guy. So to be not an offensive guy, but to be comfortable with the ball in your hands, at least you can now start making those passes. And he seems to be a pass-first guy, even though he wants to get himself going. But, just as he gets more comfortable, as he gets more – in the sets and understanding what's happening, I think it's just going to start slowing down for him, and that's when all those other little things come into play.
Right.
But
go ahead.
Well, I'm going to double down on the confidence thing. It just wasn't a great game for him in game one. And I honestly thought the message from the org to us as media was there was no sugarcoating there. We told him he needed to be better. And he just came out there, and for a guy who I thought maybe for several good reasons might have played a little scared or tentative, didn't.
Yeah.
He seized the opportunity to show improvement, and he did. So that's a good sign.
I also, and this is kind of almost an aside, but I really like the guy. I do too, man. Let's not kid ourselves. We always root for Nuggets players. That's kind of like, that's our shtick, right? We like this team. We want to see them do well, but he in particular, his personality I really like. He's charismatic. He's interesting. You talked about the personality coming out tonight, but we even saw it in the post game. Like, he's a guy that I think Nuggets fans are going to enjoy rooting for. Again, he's a 30th pick. It's still far more likely he won't make it than that he will, just statistically. But I think he's a guy that's going to be like fun and worthwhile to root for in that capacity.
Nuggets fans are going to realize that he's got this massive chip on his shoulder, and I feel like that really motivates him. He's a guy who was the #1 ranked player in California as a senior, went to UCLA, got his confidence shattered there, and now is trying to build that up. But he still believes deep down that he's that guy. Like, he really wants to prove that he's still that guy that he was in high school, that he can be one of the best defenders in the NBA. Right. He said that tonight. Like, I want to prove to people that I am that guy. So I do think Nuggets fans are going to like him, and he's motivated, man. He believes in himself too.
I talked to somebody one time in Inside Basketball that mentioned he had this line. He said most guys in the NBA, when they fail, it has something to do with confidence. Maybe it's not the only thing. And I think there is something to that. Like, this is a tough league. It's going to break you mentally. You've got to be strong. You got to be able to respond. And this is a small little step for him, but he responded really well. I want to talk about another guy here in the first segment, though, who I thought was Peyton Watson gets the game ball for me. Like, no question asked. Sure. He was the guy. But there was another player that I thought was extremely interesting tonight and extremely impressive, and that was Ishmael Kamagate. I personally thought the last game, he had shown some flashes. I look at him now when I put together the last game and this one by far, in my opinion, more impressive. But when I put together the both of them, there's some trends here. Number one, he's really big.
He is huge.
Massive.
He's huge.
NBA-ready body. Right now, he has an NBA. A lot of times with centers, you think like, hey, especially a stash, you think, hey, we're going to stash, but we really want to see him fill out or this, that. Right. He's filled out.
Right.
Like, I think he could play in the NBA right now from a physical standpoint, but then the skill set too, man. Like, he uses that size well. He's not one of these guys that's like big and you're like, dude, go up and dunk that thing. What are you doing? Like, he plays
tries to dunk on people.
A true big. I thought this was a really good game from him, and so much so, I know it's going to sound like a hot take, so much so that I buy him. It's funny, compare him, who was drafted in the same spot, roughly, as Peter Cornely. Think about the two. When Peter Cornely was here, this is no knock on Peter Cornely, the two guys know each other, but when he was here, it was like, okay, well, he's got a three-point shot, and this that. Kamagate, to me, you look at it and you go, yeah, he just impacts the game. Like, he had the skill, you can pick off the skill sets, but when he's on the court, he's impacting it.
Yeah, it's all about impact with him. And also, he answers, like, all the check boxes you need for a traditional big.
Right.
He has the size. He's going after every single rebound. Like, that's something that has stood out for 2 games. And then also, he's just trying to be involved in every single play. He's going to alter as many shots as he wants. In this game, I felt like the motor started to pick up a little bit more, and that's actually what made him I feel like he was really good in small spurts in the last game, and then there's lapses. That's just being tired, not understanding what's going on. Now I feel like he's okay, I got my wind under me, I got my legs under me, I'm going to play a lot better. He's finishing everything at the rim.
Yeah.
The efficiency's there because he's just dunking every single thing, but he's so much bigger than all the other guys around him. And now I think he's starting to see okay, the pass is going to come here, it's going to come here. Once he gets that and it snaps for him, it's just going to make him a player that you want to keep around because it's small things that he has to change that it's going to get there, and he does everything that you need.
Still slightly worried about the hands, but they were better tonight. He had one rebound where he was really tangled up, and he just played. I know.
I would call the hands uneven because he had a couple plays, to your point, that were really good hands, and then he had a couple plays where you were like, man, that was an easy pass.
Sure. But I'm just saying, I thought he looked generally less flustered today. But I thought he was really impressive. I mean, it's worth noting that he has played professional basketball before.
Sure.
That he's.
It matters for this.
You can tell.
It's like Jack White. We're going to talk about him later, but it's a guy that clearly has been playing at this level for a while.
Right. And I'll touch more on that later. But you're right, when you can tell. But he was, word on the street is he was pissed after his first game that he didn't get any blocks.
Yeah.
He had a couple emphatic ones today, and I just like
he chases a lot. He chased a lot of blocks too.
He does, and that's actually kind of a rough combo with Watson at times out there. There's no one's boxing out sometimes. But hey, man, Denver has cited rim protection as a reason they like Kamagate, and he wanted to highlight that.
Yeah. I'm really impressed. If he's this impactful right now, imagine him a year from now.
Right.
A year from now, he's going to be ready to be your backup center. I really think so, man.
I kind of think the Nuggets, I don't want to say are counting on that because it's always tough when you have a stash, a second-round pick, but I kind of feel like Denver, if you were to give them true serum right now, the way they talk about it, by the way, not just after this game, even talking to him over the last week or so, I kind of think they look at him as that, hey, man,
I kind of think if Denver had another open roster spot, they kind of would want to keep him here.
Well, and you think about who did they add, DeAndre Jordan. It's on a one-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if some of it was when you're looking at who to get, part of the calculus was part of we don't want to get a guy that's on a 2 or 3 year deal. We want a guy on a 1 year deal because we believe in this. So I don't know.
His offensive rebounding is big too, and that a lot of that has to do with how big he is. 5 offensive rebounds tonight, 3 offensive rebounds off the bench in that first game. He's impossible to move in there. In this environment, in the summer league environment, we'll see what he looks like in France next year or with the Nuggets. But in this environment, he's just a massive guy inside.
And this was really the first real look at him. I mean, we talked about this the other day, but not getting the practice time and having the language barrier and all these other different things. And by the way, they did put somebody in. I'm going to screw up the name because he doesn't really play.
Kavarius Hayes.
Mabai Najai, who also speaks speaks French and there's that's part of it. He's out here on an island, not being able to communicate with a lot of people. He does have one person on the team I know that he can kind of communicate with. I think they share an agent as well. And but that first game, everything working against him, we saw some good things, some not so good things. This is one where I'm like, okay, now I get a sense of who this guy is, and I'm very impressed with it. I just think he's very it's hilarious to think of him alongside Peter Corneli. Again, no knock on Peter Corneli, but
great guy. We
were squinting to see the things that he would be. With Kamagate, I'm like, I get exactly what it is. Is he good enough to do that? I don't know. We've only seen one really good game, but I 1,000% see exactly what it is that would make him an NBA player.
Before we go too far, go away from the Kamagate, with his contract now, can you just explain to the people watching what it means for him to come over this year on a 2-way contract as to not?
Yeah, so he's got the deal. I believe he's already got a deal inked with his current team in Paris. I don't know that you would bring him over just to do the 2-way. I suppose it's possible. I don't think that is the plan. I know that sometimes you can get bought out of the contract in Paris. So there is a chance, I guess, maybe he would play that for a stint. My understanding of the team that he is on is a little bit, not no one-to-one comparison, but a little bit like what Jokic was on, they're a professional team, but it's like a professional team, like G League at night. It's in the league, but there's usually prospects or this or that. So I don't know. I don't expect that he'll be over in Denver. I just don't. I know there's been some talk about maybe they'll convert him. I still haven't heard anything that would make me think that he would come over this year.
Could they do that mid-season? Is it an off-season?
I feel like I remember some European player. Was it Joffrey?
Laverne, right?
So you can bring a guy over
Another
mid-season, another Frenchman. And look, I'm not a big DeAndre Jordan fan, but I don't think you look at Kamagate as somebody who's useful for next season necessarily.
Why is that?
I don't think you would trust him in the playoffs. I think you'd rather just go with who you got.
Wouldn't it be a regular season asset though? Well,
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, but
I don't
also
know.
I think more so with the G League thing is kind of how I look at it. But also with how his contract is set up, he would make more money playing overseas than he would right now. But then there's the contract versus development. He's going to develop himself a lot more for him to be a part of the organization and closer to the organization if he was to come over later on a two-way.
Well, yeah. It's funny listening to us talk, though. It just kind of shows you how high we all are on what we saw tonight, but also even just talking to him. I think the team really likes Kamagate.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think this is
they're
a
hyped.
typical second-round pick guy. I think they look at him as hey, man, we're very optimistic
and
here.
let's do it, fellas. Let's say the line. It's only summer league. It's only summer. We know.
All right, yeah,
we know.
sure.
Denver's had a center before who balled out on Cox Pavilion and then went back and spent a year abroad and then came back.
Let's ratchet it up. The takes. Is he the next Nikola Jokic?
I'm not
is this
saying
what you're
that.
Saying?
I think
I'm
you
not
are.
saying that,
Man.
but you
think
can't
that's what he just said.
dismiss the similarities.
Can we just talk about the stats? Is he statistically, guys?
Rattle me off those per 36 minute
is he more
stats.
impressive than Nikola Jokic?
What's his box plus minus?
Statistically, I'm going to say yes. Absolutely,
In
no
Summer
question.
League, yes.
Statistically,
He's leading Summer League in VORP. Did you know that?
Let's take a break. I love Kamagate. Oh, by the way, one last thing I want to say. He still got fatigued tonight. There's two things, little things I'm going to nitpick just a little bit here. One, he's closing out shallow a little bit. We've heard that he guards the perimeter really well. He's got a couple threes that have been splashed in his eye, and they've all come. It's just a thing I've kind of picked up on him closing out a little bit shallow. And then he has been fatigued. And you look at him, he's a specimen. The guy looks like, he's going to be like an elite athlete. But he has been tired really, really quickly. Is that because of the travel? Is that because he hasn't been able to practice? I don't know. He plays hard, but he wears out. And that's one thing, if he's going to be an NBA player, he's got to be able to play.
Although, backup center.
Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. He's got to be able to go out there and just,
I'm just
never
saying
look
it's
tired.
10 to 15 minutes as opposed to
Well,
30.
what's he playing right now?
Well, a goal. That's all.
Don't fight, guys.
My
please.
point stands,
I don't
folks.
like when
My
we
point. You're out of
disagree.
pocket, man. You're out of
I'll
pocket.
dial
Cap.
back.
That's cap.
I'll dial
That's
back.
okay. So you're out of
I'll
pocket.
pull it back. No, it's
All
ridiculous.
right, let's hit our first break. On the other side, we're going to talk about some of the other. Those two guys get the game ball. We get number one game ball, and then we
Hang
get
on.
a slightly
Whoa.
smaller game
You
ball.
snub my guy Jack. We'll talk more on the other side
Well,
of the break.
actually, you know what? Good point. Jack White might get another small game ball as well.
Have you not been able to watch Nuggets, Avs, and Rapids games this season?
I just watched him.
Summer League games are on national TV.
That's right.
You can get Evoca TV and get Altitude Sports, get AT&T Sportsnet, get other national channels as well.
Or get us.
Channel DNVR, also on Evoca TV.
I would lead with that personally, but I'm a narcissist.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody watching on Evoca TV. Available in Denver and Colorado Springs. They've got Altitude Sports. You can get Evoca TV at evoca.tv/DNVR. Use the code DNVR. Get $10 off your first 3 months. $15 a month for those first 3 months, plus a receiver. No contracts, no hidden fees. evoca.tv/DNVR.
We bet? Are you taking a water break in the middle of your ad read?
Yeah.
My God.
Speaking of which, Eric,
I've already lost my voice once today.
We just had to take a water break. Unbelievable. Water makes you weak.
crowd,
Yeah.
one please.
Athletic Greens.
Glorious.
This is a product that
Glorious.
I use literally every day. Athletic Greens.
You didn't use it today.
I know, he's such a liar.
You're
He
so
did
full
not
of
use it.
shit.
Don't blow my cover, man.
You're on Vegas trip. You don't have
Blow
to
my
say
cover.
every day. You could. All right.
I just wanted more energy in my daily life. I wanted an optimized immune system. I hated taking pills and vitamins. What's in Athletic Greens? One delicious scoop of Athletic Greens. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Yeah, shout out adaptogens. It's lifestyle friendly, keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free. If you're on one of those diets, it's all good. Athletic Greens works with that. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season. Just one scoop of water, one scoop of Athletic Greens in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs as well with your first purchase. Go Go to athleticgreens.com/nuggets
How is this read still
to
going,
take ownership
man?
over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Good job. All right, we're back here. Segment 2.
Actually, it was fine.
So, you know, not that it matters a team identity in Summer League, like this isn't even a real team, but I will say the Nuggets have brought in a bunch of defensive guys. Noticeable. Watching the game tonight, even with the second unit, like swarming defensively. Honestly, like this group of players, whatever it is, again, not a team, but they really do have a bunch of great defenders. There was times like when the game got closer, whatever, where I was like, Cavs are not going to score. They got lockdown defenders at every possession and then a rim protector at the rim, and it was kind of cool to see.
They got a lot of interchangeable defenders, too, like people that don't get put into space and ISOs, which you see in a lot of these other games.
Yeah, you do.
Where it's just like guys on an island, move out the way, and then they're just going to try to pick on. Yeah, there's guys that are stepping over and being able to, play multiple positions. I think it's just cool and different to see, just different.
Christian Braun tonight, obviously the headliner for the Nuggets here at Summer League. He has not been able to shoot the ball. He was 4 of 18 tonight, including 0 of 8. Now, some of these were grenades. Like, he caught up – of his 8 threes, like 3 or 4 of them were of the grenade variety where he kind of had to put up a tough shot. So I feel for him a little bit, but I think he's 1 of 15 from 3. It's the only negative thing. I thought he cut well. I thought he defends extremely well. He did a lot of things very, very well. He has not shot the ball well so far in the playoffs. Do you make anything of that, Wind?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'd like to see him get a couple threes to go in. I feel like he was pressing a little bit from 3, maybe in his head a little bit.
I think there were so many grenades. There was a lot of moments where you were like, man, that was a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, but there were also just a lot of open threes that he missed.
Oh,
he missed one right in the corner, right in front of me.
No question.
So
no question.
I got to see him hit some threes before Summer League is over to feel a little better about him. But maybe my biggest takeaway from Christian Braun tonight was his defense, and his defense on Ochai Agbaji.
Yeah, his guy.
His teammate at Kansas, who went 3 of 11 from the field today.
Yeah.
And Christian Braun was his primary defender. So it's a guy who was taken ahead of him in the draft, a guy that's looked at by a lot of people as probably a better offensive player than Christian Braun, and he D'd him up.
That's a good point.
He locked him down. So his defense has been great. He's flying around out there. He's getting steals. He's getting deflections. You just want to see him hit a couple threes.
Would you say Ochai was locked down in Browntown?
Oh, he was in Browntown, and he does not want to be there any longer.
Yeah, let's just get over there. Save the tomatoes. Save the tomatoes.
What did I say?
With Christian Braun, I am worried about the 3-point shot because that was, while it was the one thing that he was known for in college, or like one of the main things he was known for in college, it was also one of the knocks on him, transitioning to the NBA. They were going to say, can he shoot it at the NBA level? And we haven't seen that right now. He's also missing free throws. Like that, kind of shows.
That's why I was saying he's probably in his head a little bit tonight.
Yep, missing that as well. But also just he's an elite defender, and also he's comfortable out there. You could just see that. It doesn't look like he's having these type of games that he's having. I don't even see that he's taking 18 shots in this type of game, just because he's playing within the flow of the offense, and then it finds him every single time, and he looks comfortable taking it. When he's not making shooting the 3 ball, I feel confident with him, in the offense and things like that. So mixed bag from him right now, but I think the defense is just so elite that it just makes me happy.
I think he's in his head a bit with the shot. There was one where he was wide open in the left corner, far side tonight, and he just pump faked. And then he double clutch, and then he shot.
Is that too much?
No, nothing.
Sorry, dude, I took notes one time.
No, I know what you're talking about. Actually, one of my notes that I have on here is that he has a slow trigger, and I think it's what you're talking about. Like when you missed a bunch, you're kind of like, well, should I shoot it or not? So.
Yeah.
There was one where he just kind of double clutched, and actually I heard a teammate on the Nuggets bunch say, why'd you hesitate? And I think that's happening right now. So I'd wait to see him maybe try to shoot himself out of that. He went 0 of 2 from the corners in game 1, and I think maybe just had a little too much time to sit on it. So I like the stroke. I think he's a good player, and more importantly, he actually outscored Agbaji tonight, to your point.
That's great. That's incredible. You guys want to know who my favorite player is on this team? I actually think I mean this. No, it's not. It's not. I'm a Collin Gillespie guy. I was sitting next to Wind. How many times did I just gush over? And it's the funniest part is
I have to put in my AirPods after a while.
I'm telling you, the funny thing is it's not even highlights. Like you can look at the tape. He didn't shoot that well tonight either. 6 of 17. Although he did go 4 of 10 from 3. It felt like he missed a lot, but shot 40% overall. 6 of 17 from the field. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. I love this dude. I love this dude, man.
How can you not?
He is made in a lab. When you just talk about, you guys know, I always want guys to make the right play, like have the skill to do it, but really to do it. This guy, man, every single time down court, he does something where that's perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. I love him. I'm such a believer in Collin. I'm such a big believer in him being an NBA player.
Yeah, he's composed the entire time that he's out there.
Here we go.
Just super composed, like
Steady Gillespie.
and also that's a good one.
Solid Collin.
Wins.
He also, he hit big shots in the game. Like the ball found him. He knocked down the three. It didn't matter who was in front of him. He's not like super quick or anything like that, but he is crafty. He gets to his spots. He makes sure that he knows everything else that's happening. He's telling guys where to go and things like that. But like he's really steady, honestly. Like
He's so steady.
Super good defender, great passer. Got put into some situations that he fouled a lot, today, like just because he's trying to make up for it. But also, I think he just understands everything that's happening and how to get the best out of his teammates. And we've been seeing that. It was good to see him like score 17 points in a game because I feel like he knows he's supposed to facilitate, but he can score as well.
I thought first half game one, he was like, hey, just be the guy everyone wants you to be. Just run some actions, don't turn it over. And at first it looked like he couldn't turn the corner on any of these guys. But then in the second half, he was finding these little lanes, the windows, you know what I'm saying? Just the timing on it. And it became clear to him, I thought, or clear to me, that he felt confident scoring at that level. And then I thought in this game, he just played that way the whole time. It was a little more of a, I don't want to say score first. Maybe it was score first, but it was more confident from him tonight.
He's kind of a scorer. He's kind of a scorer, honestly. He's been taking it to some of these dudes, like to what you're saying. Like some of these he does look like he's going to come down and run an offense, and a guy will get like into his grill, and he's like, "Get out of! What are you doing, pressuring me like this?" I will say this: he's tough, man.
I think
he's tough.
Yeah.
He plays.
That's an undersell.
Yeah, no, like he plays with a toughness.
We are talking about a great college point guard.
Yeah.
Great.
I know.
That's important to the measurables make it a question at the next level. But he won best point guard in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a scrub.
It actually is like he's not actually surprising in any of this that he does because the question remains like he's 6'2", and. But I don't know. I just buy it. I want to see him. I really want to see him. It's going to be tough because I think he's going to go to the G League and put up these exact same numbers. I really do. And we're going to be like, I have no idea if he's an NBA player because the one thing you can't copy and like test it against is all right. NBA guys are all just a little bigger, stronger, faster, and we're not going to know. Like I don't have confidence for him going up against some of the elite guys.
Yeah, but it comes easy as well. Like he has
easy.
seven rebounds and 6 assists.
7 rebounds. He got more rebounds tonight. Oh, I'm all in. I'm so in on this guy.
Michael Malone's eyes were just rolling into the back of his head.
I just know for a fact that Michael Malone sees a lot of himself.
Oh my God, I love this.
Kidding?
Steady Collin Gillespie.
He's like, oh my, did Facu get taller?
This is how I see a lot of myself in Jokic. Not at all.
Yeah, Malone just thinking back to his illustrious playing career on the East Coast, Loyola.
Get in there.
And he's like, you're so right.
I see myself in this kid.
I love this dude.
Here.
I honestly love him. You know how much I hate short people, man, and I love this guy.
I do. I've picked up on that more lately.
Oh, I can't stand him.
Yeah, it's
Can't
coming
stand
up
him.
a lot.
Yeah. The other guy, of course, we have to get to the Aussie, Jack White.
Dude.
8 points.
I'm going to go first. Jack White, leader in my personal clubhouse, not projections on the front office. Personal clubhouse. Give Jack White the 2A.
Is it because he grabbed
Give him a max
15
deal.
rebounds in 20 minutes somehow?
That is a big part of it. Hey, here's
It's actually 16, I think. I
thought
think you got it
experiment.
wrong.
Lock Jeff Green in a room with Jack White, and he can't leave until he wins a rebound.
So you like White more than Green?
Well,
Where are you at on Braun?
In terms of rebounding? Colors. We got Ryan Green over there. I just, whatever. I made my point.
15 rebounds in the game, like.
What point did you make? That
I made my point.
you like Jack White?
Give Jack White the 2A is my point.
Gotcha.
Wow, already.
He was saying that. I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as say giving him the
Coward.
2-way, but also like having Kellen Grady on the Exhibit 10. Like I feel like Jack White like played himself into like upgrade somewhere in life. Like I'm not saying that he's going to be an NBA player or another team's going to pick him up on the 2-way, but he made it like a thought process. Yeah. He also is going to probably play in a bigger league or go straight to the G League. Like he put up such a good highlight package in these first 2 games that he has a discussion First game, he leads in plus minus. Second game, he has 15 rebounds and shows that he could compete, no matter what. So now he could actually, like, just keep going up, and that was, like, the positivity that everyone is high on.
How many block shots do you think he had tonight?
2.
0?
Hit 3 block shots.
3 blocks? Wow. Wow.
Jack White was everywhere.
Jack White whips.
Can I tell you what he whips ass? I've got a good Jack White anecdote. I asked him about Summer League Game 1. He goes, yeah, there were a lot of nerves and jitters out there, you could tell. And I said, from you? And he was quiet for 3 seconds. He goes, nah, not really.
Nah, mate. Not really.
Nah, he's like, I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The only thing about Jack White is he's a little bit older. Like, honestly,
He's 24.
A lot of these guys, like Peyton Watson, this is the highest level of competition he's ever faced. Highest level. And you got even guys, Collin Gillespie is a solid guy. It's the highest level of competition they've ever faced. Christian Braun talked about it. Like, it's a little bit faster, a little stronger. Jack White's like, this is a step down, man.
It's
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's been playing in the NBL. He's been playing against professionals.
He might just be Flacco, too.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he's not that tall. He's like 6'6" or something. I don't know what he's listed as, but like
Tiny, a couple inches shorter than Vlatko.
But he's playing winning hoops, man.
But what is he? A guard? A wing?
A 3?
Is he a 3?
Yeah, that's what makes it tough. He's like a forward if you look at everything else.
He might be designed to dominate this environment.
Yeah, it's fit for him.
Dominate it with 15 rebounds.
The funniest, but I'm just saying, is he grabbing 15 rebounds in the NBA?
Well, of course not.
Well, that's what made him so special.
Yeah, that's what makes it like hard for him to translate to that two-way like contract. Where is he going to be on the depth chart?
What do you want on – honest question. 2022 Nuggets, second two-way slot. Just setting the scene,
defense.
Well,
this is the heated storyline of the summer, man.
Upside or solid you could play in break glass in case of emergency.
If he brought the skill set that was most needed for the Nuggets, which would be like the lengthy small forward, I would say that's it. I just don't know if that's what he is. He did have some very good defensive possessions tonight, by the way. Like, he kept some guys. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Ochai who like cleared out. Like, when he got the switch, he's like, clear out. I got this, and he just stuck him. Like, no,
Who's
you
this
don't.
white dude?
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you're not going to do that to me.
Matt Mitchell, I'm also still high on, but I just thought Jack White, like, he was impressive, man.
Of course he was impressive. He just plays winning basketball, man.
Saying,
he does
swing
what
passes,
he needs to
extra
do.
passes,
He makes the right play.
Oh.
Yeah, he had that extra pass to Christian Braun in the corner, who
Malone
bricked
was
the three, but
loving it.
oh yeah.
Dude, he said his name like 15 times from the sideline.
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
good
in a
defense,
row?
Jack. Yeah, no, in a row, yeah.
Are you there with Jack White? Is he like? Are you just kind of like, hey, that was fun, but come on.
Yeah, I think that he had just like an extremely good game.
Yeah. Jack White is not Dev's type of player.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
it's
that.
not to knock him down or anything like that. I think that it was just like a really good game, but I don't think that it translates to what the Nuggets need right now.
Okay. Any other thoughts from anybody else that you think deserves a mention? Adonis Arms, nondescript game in my opinion, went 3 of 4. He had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist.
Adonis Arms, like, he had a very a turnover that's going to stick in coaches' minds, I feel like, for a while.
Yeah, that was a tough look.
He threw away the inbounds pass, and the guy came down and hit a 3.
That was a tough look.
He has a lot of those type of plays. In the first game, he's like throwing it like at Kamagate's feet every single time where it's getting knocked out of bounds. This one, he had like 2 in a row. One of them, the Nuggets got back, and then he walks out of bounds and just throws it. They hit the buzzer beater. But like, yeah, that's the things with him. Like, he started out the game like incredible. Like, and he did last game as well. He gets to the rim. He had that fillet finish. Then he knocked down
the fillet finish.
Yeah,
what?
Wow.
What?
Yeah,
Break that down.
He had the fillet.
The fillet.
He had the fillet.
Everybody
finish.
knows
the little.
Yeah,
he did have
fillet.
that.
Oh,
He
the
had
fillet.
Yeah, he had the fillet. Then he had the three as well. So like it was going good for him, but like the more he plays, the more the ball's in his hands. That's when things go wrong, and it's still like a bit shocking to me that him and Kellen Grady are the ones that got the Exhibit 10 right now. Like, I think they should have just waited to see what was going to come out.
Well, you can give out more Exhibit 10s. It's not like they just had those two. So
What? Hey, for the viewer at home, and definitely not me, who super knows. You know what I mean?
For you.
It is for me. What is a exhibit? Break down the Exhibit 10 code.
all right, so here's the Exhibit 10. What it is you sign an Exhibit 10, and then if you go to training camp with the Nuggets, like both these guys will be in training camp, and then you get waived and then go to the G League team, and you get a little extra bonus. I think it's like $50,000 to go to the G League team.
I love that.
So it's
I
like-
love that you put the 50,000.
Yeah, just
Oh,
a cool 50K.
You know, votes like 5 years net
It's
worth.
like a preferred G League spot.
It's like nothing. It's like such an insignificant amount of money.
So both those guys, if they don't get the two-way, you'll probably see them with the G League team and with $50,000 in their pocket.
Let's take a break. On the other end, let's also say goodbye to Superstar Dev and also Brendan Vogt. We're going to say goodbye to them. We're going to bring in some friends of the show. You're going to do the last read, and then I'm going to kick you out, too.
Okay.
On the other side, we got some fun stuff. By the way, some important stuff on the other end. You're going to stay so high. Contavious Caldwell-Pope speaks to the media, and boy, did he have some fire. Oh, my God. It's like he was pandering specifically to me. Davon Reed earns himself a Mr. Nugget merit. And then we get PJ Dozier as well, also in the house. Some stuff to talk about. We'll do that on the other side.
Is it on? There we go. Now it's on. Guys, Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Make sure to pick up some Breck Brew this week. Also, at DraftKings Sportsbook, the action never ends, especially this summer, with tons of ways to bet on all your favorite sports. You can fuel your fandom and feel the heat of the season like never before. Right now, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a risk-free bet up to $1,000. Make your first bet up to $1,000. If it doesn't win, you'll get another shot to cash in. How about the DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week? You guys didn't bring that up.
Win wants to guess the Summer League championship.
I already have a bet in on that.
The DraftKings Sportsbook Pick of the Week is the most reckless segment in all of DNVR history.
I picked the Nuggets, the underdog today. What do you know?
How do you know?
They came up with the W. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Make your first deposit. Get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. Promo code DNVR only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. I also got to tell you about the Colorado Golf Association membership and the raffle. Is there a raffle here? Our friends over at the Colorado Golf Association have an awesome raffle going on for all our golf fans out there. Check out the Dream Golf Vacation raffle. Prizes include stay and play packages at, oh man, this is going to be tough, Wailea Blue Golf Course in Maui, Whistling Straits, a Naples golf tour, and a Palm Beach golf tour, as well as $5,000 in gift cards to Bandon Dunes. So anyone who enters before July 14th will be eligible to win the early bird prize of a VIP experience at the 2022 BMW Championship as well, where the winner will get an inside the ropes experience and walk with the players in the event. So go to coloradogolf.org to get your tickets. coloradogolf.org.
When you're a pros pro.
The pros to pros.
I know. I'm like a Jack White.
No.
This is the highest level of competition we can expect.
You are like a Jack White. RG, get on it here. We got a new panel.
No.
Same host though.
Hey-o.
Same host. We got a new panel though, and we're gonna welcome onto the show now. You guys know him. It's D-Line Co.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, D-Line.
It's great to be here. Long time, first time. Long time developing the show, first time on it.
And a real friend of the show. We got Andy Jewett over here joining us for the first time.
Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for letting me infiltrate the party house / workhouse.
Let's go.
You're a very welcome guest, not just on the set, but here in Las Vegas. Not that it's my job to welcome
No, it's
people
fun.
to Las Vegas, but
I look like a piece of the strip right now. I look like I drive a Hyundai Elantra, and it's or I got a waiver, and maybe I'm driving a Ford Topaz.
wow, a little free marketing right there for the Elantra. I like it. And then over here, of course, the star of Las Vegas. It's Ryan Green. The star of Las Vegas.
I didn't know.
The whole of Las Vegas.
You were mad hustling today.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
He's always bad hustling. I'm telling you, he really is the perfect employee. I've never told him anything. And then just like these things are delivering. I'm like, oh, sweet, that's dope.
I do all that stuff, so I don't have to talk to you.
That's so true.
As the non,
you know what?
as the non all the time basketball or sports person, I have to say that Ryan exhibits what I liked out of the draft. Just listening to you guys out of the summer league players today, blah blah blah, is that Ryan does a lot of basketball activity.
Yeah.
He's aware of what's going on
He's
at
a
all
glue guy.
times. He can high five a child, or he can take over an area, a perch, and just get a great
since
shot.
that restraining order came in.
We're off the rails.
Can I tell you something, though? I actually fell on my ass twice on the same damn step. Once on Friday, once today,
Really?
in front of people.
No-
it was
no one knew.
not fun.
Yeah.
But everything else was flawless.
I follow a lot. It's all good. We're good here. There's some awesome videos. I highly encourage you guys, if you're listening to this as a podcast, which we always love you to do, and you can't always catch it live. It's easy to listen to it on your way in, maybe on the train, whatever it is, on a flight per se. If you're going home from Las Vegas, you can listen to us as a podcast. Also, we do have stuff on our YouTube channel that's not the podcast, not the live show. We have other stuff. Never was that more true than this week. Do you want to see Brendan vote without a shirt on? You can just walk right on over to our YouTube page.
Well,
And can I
Is that the
advise
first
you,
selling
if you do
point?
want that, to change that about yourself?
Yeah.
There's some really cool stuff that we have over there. I'm really proud of it. We had a competition. We did this thing where we had like a 3-point competition. I'm not
Oh,
going to say.
baby.
I'm not going to say
The
who
worst
won
part-
it. I'm not going to
I
say.
have to say,
I'm not going to mention that. We had a putting competition. I'm not going to mention who won that either. We played a little bags. I'm not going to bring up who won that one.
The greatest part about this is
What?
that I get to feel personal pride for your ego. Like, this is great. Like, because DNVR won. I was like, hell yeah. But now that you said those things, I was like, oh, man.
Nobody is ever happy for me.
Me either.
Yeah, exactly.
And the two of us drag each other down even further.
It's so true. We're the perfect duo here. I want to get into the summer league. Andy, is this your first summer league?
No, I came in 2019. I was driving from LA with my new car at the time, all excited for like a
The Elantra?
find myself
Topaz.
road trip.
Topaz, okay.
Yes, my Ford Topaz. And I spent several days just watching games by myself. To be honest, it was great. I loved it. I drove home, and had a great experience.
What about you, RG? Is this your first summer league?
This is my first summer league experience.
How does it rank amongst your sports about the Super Bowl? But
it's definitely not like high up there. I mean, like if you
the worst thing I've ever seen.
yeah.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Like,
how great was that? He's like, not at all, actually.
I'm just such a well-traveled
Yeah, oh,
sportsman.
wow.
No, it's look, it's like one, it's really hot, and two,
well,
it's
okay.
not great basketball.
Yeah,
But
right.
I will say, and Eric's made this point a bunch of times on the trip, it's not really the basketball you're here for. And especially when I'm there filming, it's like literally, it's such a confined space. There, you turn around and there is like we were going down for the Nuggets post game, and we turn a corner and John Morant's dancing, and it's just like it's it's like, what is going on? This is wild. 50 Cent was sitting courtside of a Kings summer league game. Like it's just a wild environment.
Yeah, that's the thing about Summer League, like both at the arena and all around, is that you see combinations of things that you wouldn't be able to put together.
Yes.
Like if you drew
Visual
them
Mad
out, you're
Libs.
like, what if the coach of the Pelicans was talking to 50 Cent?
What if Chameleonaire entered the casino with Sam Cassell and met up with Brian Shaw?
Right, yes. That's what Summer League is.
The lineup for a while, just like in a row, like Popeye Jones looking like Charles S. Dutton with a hat on.
Yeah.
Zeke Naji, cool headpiece, some braids trickling out.
Yes.
Wow. Do you
Right
have
next
any
to
photos of that?
KCP, green and shirt,
Yeah.
weird bucket hat.
Yeah.
Malone right there. Michael, excuse me. I didn't say Mike. Everything's fine. And then and then Davon Reed.
Yeah,
and
Davon
it was a
Reed.
nice.
And then
it
Josh
was cool.
Kroenke showed up, too.
And
Josh Kroenke here,
got in
actually,
there.
by the way. That's kind of a noteworthy thing, I
Yes.
suppose. Did we get any photos of Zeke Naji?
I didn't know Zeke was there. I was focused
You know,
on
I did.
Davon, MPJ,
You know why you
PJ
didn't-
Dozier was there.
You know why you didn't know he was there? He's got a new look. Completely new
Totally
look.
new.
25
I didn't
pounds.
realize it
Look,
was him either.
He had a Mac Miller shirt
Okay.
and like a salmon head wrap.
Oh, I
He
would
looked
have
like-
not
he looked like
made that connection.
I just came from Disney World not too long ago. Looked like Pirates of the Caribbean almost. You know,
did.
like
I might have a shot of him. I just don't know.
You don't even realize.
I
it.
bet
It was
you
really-
do. He was in the front row. He was wearing a pink do-rag.
You know,
That
I
was
love Zeke Naji, man. I find him to be so weird in the best
Yes.
way. Like I like when people are weird. Friend of the
Absolutely.
show, Zeke Naji. Of
Friend of
course,
the
he's
show.
appeared on the show
he's
before.
got like a tall Kravitz vibe, but like
All right.
he's
He
like
does
a
have
little
a
more
tall-
hip hop.
All right.
he
That's a good
does
job.
have a tall Kravitz. vibe.
He's like someone who could date Lisa Bonet for sure.
Okay.
Like he's a
That's
beautiful
his,
man.
You lost me.
Let's just meet in
Well-
the middle here. We'll say he's like Lenny Kravitz meets Pirates of the Caribbean tonight.
Fine.
That's what works. I think that describes it well. But also tall. You mentioned Davon Reed. I want to get to him now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story today. Actually, the story was told by none other than head coach of Summer League, Ryan Bowen, who, by the way, I think he might be number one. I
He's
think
so
he,
fun.
I think he has. I think
Wow.
he has surpassed. Who was it? Now he's in Detroit.
Class?
Mike Inori.
Oh.
Mike Inori. He has surpassed Mike Inori for greatest Summer League Denver Nuggets coach of
Whoa.
this era. He's
Wow.
number
He's so
one.
fun.
Charles Class.
He's hilarious.
Angry.
He's hilarious. He's so lighthearted. He doesn't take it like honestly. He's It almost feels like if it was one of us up there, like speaking to the media. He's just so like disarming and goofy. I absolutely love it. He can't speak. Now here's what's funny. He lost his voice. And I don't think it's from the game. I don't think it's from coaching.
It's the same reason I lost my voice.
He was definitely hooting and hollering, at the casinos over these last 2 days.
He's definitely screaming, anything is possible every 20 minutes like I am.
But Davon Reed, so Brian Bowen tells the story that at practice yesterday, Davon Reed pulled the team in and said, hey, guys, you're not playing with the sense of urgency
Let's
that you
go.
need here. Now, listen, this guy just got signed. He was on a two-way. He's only 26 years old, 27 years old, barely in the NBA. He just got his contract. Congrats to him. Shouts to him. Actually, I think he is out here in part to sign that deal. But here he is playing the lead role. Guys, we've talked about it.
Davon.
I'm just
Mr.
saying,
Nugget?
Mr. Nugget is almost certainly going to be locked up for Bones Highland. He's the inside. The only question we have about if he's Mr. Nugget or not is he too good?
We answered this
definitively. Explain why. You had a good point.
So I was not here when even doubt was raised in this idea that anybody other than Bones Highland would be Mr. Nugget. I read later on, and you told me you thought he was too good, and I was like, is Bones Highland better than Gary Harris was at his height? The answer is no.
No.
Such a good.
The answer is no. So no.
You guys say I never can admit
point.
when I'm wrong, but here I am admitting that I was once wrong.
Well, thank you. You know what I gotta say? This is like.
Are you not gracious?
This is like when people talk about when the long chase to finally win the championship. They win. The next morning, it just doesn't feel like anything. Hearing you admit you were wrong one time did not bring any satisfaction to me. I always thought it would, and this is terrible.
Tell you what.
Is this all there is?
I'll tell you what. I'll never do it again.
My man.
I'll never do it again.
My man.
I don't want you to be disappointed. No, but honestly, Andy, like, it's funny to me. Like, we can make light of this situation a little bit and kind of joke, but let's be honest, man. I feel like it actually is a cool moment of leadership. Now, he's only a leader to guys that have been on the team less than him, which is he's been on the team for like 4 months. All of these guys have not been on the team for more months. It actually is kind of an impressive leadership thing.
But he came in, like, that guy came in and set a tone, like, right away, and has kind of been that same guy, I feel like, the whole time, like, attitude-wise. And I think Davon Reed's speech, Ryan Bowen, I actually liked the fact that it seemed like a reasonably well coached. To Ryan's point, like all the ball is pretty suspect at various times. Like that second half of the Bulls Knicks game was unwatchable.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that
up. There's a lot of individuals making basketball moves and sort of floating around and kind of not attacking the basket. What I really liked, speaking of Bones, is Bones is not afraid of his ceiling, right? He's not. He like whether he achieves it or not. To your point, sample size is just like summer league with more, obviously, much more pedigree now with Bones. But like Peyton Watson, I feel like isn't afraid of his ceiling.
Okay.
Like he knows he's good.
Durant, so yeah, I would agree.
Well, right, but I exactly, yeah, sure. Yeah,
he's like, I'm kind of like a top.
He's like, I'm kind of like LeBron James.
Kind of like that.
It's like I'm like Kevin Durant if he had a jump shot.
I just like that the attitude is that we're a real basketball team and we're gonna like do basketball things on the court because you guys were talking about how steely everybody is. Like Collin Gillespie, Christian Braun, Ishmael Kamagate.
Oh, you did it. Braun. You called him Braun.
Christian Brown.
I'm sorry. Do you know what it is? I'm stuck in Browntown.
We're going to Browntown.
A Brauntown is a tauntaun with Christian Braun's head from Star Wars. We all know that.
Oh my God!
It's very confusing.
Now we're off the rails.
You know what I like about Browntown, real quick, before we get off of it? Browntown is like Aloha. It's like Aloha. It can be bad or good. Like
that's fair.
Like we're going to Browntown, or it can be like we're going to Browntown.
Man, we gotta get out of Browntown.
No, it's like Mahalo or Aloha
it's past tense and future tense.
Yeah,
hey,
it's
we're
the
going
same.
to Browntown. It's like, oh, we went to Browntown.
Yeah.
But I just like that they kind of seem to like have a discipline about playing together, and they didn't always do great. They all had like their own like strengths and weaknesses, but like seeing Peyton Watson do any portion of what he's capable of right now is a treat.
Dude, after the first game, it was terrifying. The notion of Peyton Watson was terrifying. We were like,
he still left his feet on like 3 shots where he just.
But I was like, oh god, is this going to be a Tyler Lydon pick where you like have to talk about, relitigate, relive, like for the rest of time? You're like, that's the thing. Like, because I mean, these things happen so quickly. Like you're like, oh, draft pick, blah, blah, blah. But then 5 years from now, someone's like, well, what about that time he drafted blah blah blah? Like they never leave. So. To see Peyton Watson come out and play with just, I don't know, his finishing was really good. His intensity was really good. He was contesting almost every shot. There were a couple, like, bad moments, but, like, overall, it was just, for me, watching, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, there is a real chance this guy could be something.
Yeah. Honestly, tonight, it was so needed in that one way.
It was so needed.
He could have had not even bad games. He could have just had like whatever games, and we'd all be like, I don't know, man. Tonight was a good enough game for me to be like, okay, I see it.
Dude, he got our first fire emoji.
Get there. I don't know. Yeah, he did get it. I don't know if he'll get there. I'm not saying it's a lock. The odds are still stacked against him, this or that. But I'm just saying I'm so glad that I got a window, like a little peek of like, okay,
yes,
it's in there. Let's see if we can get it out. PJ Dozier and Davon Reed, by the way, I just give him. It's so great. By the way, shouts to Alec Gwynn, friend of the show. I love the idea of Mr. Nugget merits. They don't really add up, but it doesn't matter. That is a Mr. Nugget merit. Like he stepped up. And Monte goes to he goes to the game that's like 6 Mr. Nugget merits.
You know what? In the world of Nuggetsville, Nuggetstown, Nuggets Nation, it should be more democratic than an oligarch, right? We shouldn't decide Mr. Nugget. It should be a meritocracy.
Oh, it's so true. You're gonna have to put this to a vote before the season starts.
I don't think it's democratic. It's more.
Let me retract that statement.
I think have elected officials.
Meritocracy. There should be a point system. At the end of the day,
a fan vote.
Mr. Nugget decides himself. But the thing is that most of it is based on vibes, so it really comes down to what we think anyway. Yeah. So it's Bones. Let's go.
All right. Well, hey,
I have the final say.
I'm telling you right now, the seat is vacant. We're gonna have to decide this sometime before training camp.
I can't even imagine that the seat is vacant.
Well, it is.
Bones has been sitting on the seat while Monte was still
keeping it warm,
dancing on the seat,
keeping it warm.
He was sitting on Monte's lap.
All right, he'll probably have it on lock. We'll see. Davon Reed, maybe he keeps doing these fiery speeches. PJ Dozier was in the house tonight, and I just loved it, man. Like, PJ Dozier, he kind of, for me, he's going to get forever Nugget status. He really is. I don't know if he'll ever play for the Nuggets again. I really don't.
Wow, that's bold.
It doesn't feel like it.
He only got.
It's such a short tenure. Yeah.
No, he played like 3. You guys are mistaken.
You know what it is that we just love PJ composure.
We do love it. I know. I like PJ Dozier. He's a Nugget. Like, guys when they're excited to be a Nugget. Like, there's very few of them. And like he is a guy that like
this is changing. Though.
I remember the first game he ever played was the Martin Luther King Day game.
Yes,
and he came out and he gave basically a ridiculously composed speech. Yeah. Stole the show. Played really solidly. And was he was just solid. We just never got to see his full deal because of physicality and his injuries and things.
Anyway, it warmed my heart to steal a Josh Kroenke line. It warmed my heart to see him out there tonight.
There's honestly there's something about this summer league environment, and it is interesting. I mean, it's notable, not notable. You can make whatever decision you want about this, but like, it means something to me to see the guys that actually come out and watch and support and like want to be part of the team, want to sit next to Michael Malone, want to just be visually associated with the Denver Nuggets. Like Jamal made a big point of coming out. I mean, granted, his brother was on the team, but MPJ being there both times and being.
I think MPJ is going to be an every summer league kind of guy. Yeah. There's like Jamal and MPJ. I think will be out here every summer league. Unless they have like a prior commitment or something, but I just think that they both love ball.
Yeah,
they like being around. Like this is like a very social environment. It's like it's like a who's who of who's in the NBA.
That's it. It's like you're kind of walking around. Everybody's looking at everybody else. It is very much a visibility thing.
Bones was out here.
He just looks cool. He just looks cool walking around.
He's giant.
Definitely Eric, obviously, was who I was talking about. Eric looks cool all the time.
I do look cool all the time.
Man. It's true. But MPJ looks like he always has like a white shirt and like an Andre Agassi neon green shorts.
Man, it is so Andre Agassi.
He's like a kid at the a kid at the pool that you want to hang out with, and he's like dope and super athletic. He's injured all the time.
You like when you see kids at the pool, you're like, I want to hang out with them?
No. I mean, like growing up. I'm like, if he was your friend,
right,
well, I'm not gonna hang out with the adults, Adam.
Listen, Adam,
go
please.
To the kids' pool, the kiddie pool.
No,
You were right to ask that, by the way. That required a follow-up.
No, I mean, if socially, as in a developmental stage, Adam. Come on now.
Okay, there you go. But we have to get to our top story tonight. It's not the game. It's not all of this.
It's never been about
Contavious Caldwell-Pope, a.k.a. I asked him what he likes to be called, because actually, it's a real question. Contavious is not like... It feels weird to say, hey, Contavious. You know, like, do you like Kent? No, he said KCP is cool. I
was hoping for Kenneth.
It's the fastest way for it to be over.
Yeah, it is the fastest. It's still kind of long. Talked to KCP today, and it was really great. We're going to get into all of the different things, and I want to gauge your guys' reaction. But first, Kale, can you roll that footage that I sent you in production? Did you not see I sent you something in production assignments?
Let's talk.
Yes, I can. It's Vegas. It's Summer League for everyone, man.
We'll do it live.
Oh, yeah.
I figured we would have lost that series. And that's what I think about the Denver team. They scrappy. Just seeing them like fight. They played against the Clippers. Fight back. It just shows a lot. And I'm just ready. I'm excited. Just watching them and playing against them. I always tell people to score.
So there it is. What he says is he goes back to the bubble. I asked what do you think of this Nuggets team? Do you think they're contenders? He said, I think back to that series in the bubble, and if Anthony Davis doesn't hit that shot in Game 2, that buzzer beater game winner, I think Denver wins the series. Or he actually says, I think we lose the series. Woo, man! First of all, I've said this because I know a lot of Lakers fans are like, that was a fast series, this or that. And my whole take all along has been like, there can be very close 5-game series. There can be. I think 4, whatever. You're talking about a sweep, whatever. But if you have a 5-game series and enough of them were close and there's a game or two where it swings like that, I look at it and I go, it could have gone either way, especially when you factor in the bubble and especially when you factor in the Lakers were an old team that just kind of skated through. They didn't ever face adversity. They didn't ever have to go deep or whatever. And obviously we have seen since then the Lakers, every time they have to work hard, just turn into old men out on the court. Yeah. I look at that one and I go, I don't know if Denver, he says that they would have lost. I don't know about that. I just always look at that and say, that was a sneaky close 5-game series, and no one's going to remember that way. No one except for myself. And
KCP.
I love it. Is he pandering to a Denver audience? I don't. Actually, I'm going to let you make the show. Is he pandering here?
Oh, man. It's so tough to decide because it just seems like he was giving an answer. It wasn't delivered with a Russell Wilson. Oh, I'm happy to be here, and man, I tell you what, if some things happened, probably
that Super Bowl, we were on our heels all the way, even though we won 30-0.
And you were at the interview. It wasn't that was the only canned answer he gave. Right. They all seemed just kind of genuine. Yeah, that's just how things were. That tweet's going viral too. I'm sure Lakers fans are fine with it.
Nuggets fans need to quote tweet that. I read all the quote tweets and it was just Lakers fans being mad. I'm
so salty.
At Contavious Caldwell-Pope, you're no longer a Laker. I no longer like you from 2020. The Lakers fans are so late. Honestly, go read all the quote tweets. They are every single one of them the lamest thing you've ever read in your life. Not even salty. It's there's dorky. Anyway, go on.
They all say he lying. They're all that nobody can just accept that. Like Adam said, a couple balls bounced a couple different ways.
Yes,
that you get a lead, you go to 6. Absolute sliding doors moment, especially with the personnel that the Nuggets had that was significantly younger, and the Rondos and everyone's just running out of gas at the end. And obviously had enough gas to win. And great job, you're champions. But also, yes, it felt closer than the finals did. To me.
Yeah, that's a little too far to be able to just conjure. He's had that thought before.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? If you're
that's true. That would be a weird thing to prepare ahead of time. You know what I'm going to say?
Right. Ooh.
They definitely felt threatened by the Denver Nuggets. And the crazy thing is that KCP murdered us in that series.
Yeah.
Absolutely murdered us. I mean, that. He hasn't really done anything since then has been nearly as remarkable. But that's why I'm so excited to get this guy in our fold. And hopefully he can kill others on our behalf.
He said, to your point, it hasn't been remarkable because he's been chilling in Washington.
Yes.
But he even said something to the effect of, what was the quote where he's like, it's great to compete again. It wasn't that, but it was basically hinting at that. And it was basically it's nice to have some, something cool
Something
on the
at
horizon
stake.
to get excited about.
Yeah. Right.
And if we keep our eye on the prize, and Davon Reed's doing his speech every day,
Yeah, get him fired up, man.
reading the Riot Act,
Trying
if
to
you will.
win merit point. Mr. Nugget merit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like this energy.
MNMP.
There's accountability. People want to win.
They do want to win.
I honestly, whatever, I don't care pandering this or that. It was a cool quote. It was a really cool thing to say. And also, I think it was part of a series of things he said about basically just trying to say, hey, I believe in this team. Like, this is a really good team. And that was the overarching point. Whether the Lakers make everything about them, whatever. He was really just saying, like, hey, no, this is they were a good team 2 years ago, at that point. But now, he really seems to think that this is a team that he's excited to be a part of. I will say, the first question he answered, the first one was something about, like, walk us through the trade when it happened. And he was like, I was surprised. And first of all, we heard a story, and he was like almost like, and he basically made it sound as if he was hurt. Like, oh, I got caught off guard. Like they did, I didn't know I was going to do this. They did me dirty. Maybe we trade here. And part of me was going like, everything we heard was that you almost got traded to Denver at the deadline. The team had been talking to you for a while, but this was kind of like hey, it's probably going to happen. So I was a little thrown off by that, and it almost seemed. You can correct me if you felt something different. It almost seemed to me like he was at first upset about it. Like he kind of brought an energy to it of like this and that, and I was kind of like, huh.
I have to assume most players don't like the idea of just being traded, right?
Well, yeah.
It's like, and again, it's not like Washington to Miami, Washington to New York, Washington to Los Angeles, Washington to Denver maybe not be, in terms of the overall national perspective and outlook. But I think, the more he thought about it, the more he was like, this actually is a good team. Like, I've got the back-to-back MVP, and all I have to do is play defense, and we got Jamal Murray and MPJ. Yeah. So I think it's, sure, it may be a shock value, and it may have kind of sucked life-wise having to uproot or whatever you were doing. But I think that he will at least eventually come around to be like, oh, no, I think this is a real good shot.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to be traded unless you are in a position like Kevin Durant where you want to be traded.
Right.
Otherwise, I mean, that's just like rejection.
Yeah.
The team saying
right.
On a human level. There's obviously the switching around. You're looking at, it's a business. I understand it's a business. It's like saying, like, we didn't want you on the team for one reason or another. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad player. It's just as a better fit. That doesn't feel good, though, like, especially if you're not expecting it. And you have to, your life is, like
this part.
The thing where you're not in control of your life as a millionaire has to be like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Like.
He walked out, by the way, with a necklace that had a picture of his three sons. And actually, I think this is more what he was talking about.
Wait, my three sons?
My three sons.
No. Of his own three sons. And he was talking about, like, he even referenced it. So you guys can see, I've got three kids. So, a trade means now I got to find new schools.
Yeah.
I got to find, like, all this stuff. So I think it's, to your point, we always think about this as in, like, our benefit. Like, aren't you excited to go win one for us? Or this
You're on a good team
and
now.
he's like, bro, it's summer, and now I was going to go to do all these vacations. Now I got to find a house. I got to find, like, this. It's work,
like if DNVR opened LVGS and Brandon called and said, like, hey, you're staying there. Now I would be like, I
hope it happens.
I'd be like, what? And then I would be like, I guess it's a pretty big honor. Las Vegas could really use me. I guess I get some buckets.
always something to do.
Interviewed for it. That you would be like, I was surprised when they asked.
You're like, it's a million degrees out. I wanted to go home so bad, and now this is home. So
we went to Phoenix and opened up, and you're in Phoenix for it's a city like you don't know this. We went to Chicago. Chicago's a lovely city. We were there, good weather, this or that. You go to Vegas, man, like that really would be like, oh my God, we're in Vegas for like 6 weeks to open up. It would be like such an overwhelming. You're right. Whenever that call, because that call will come at some point, that call is going to be one of those ones that's like,
oh boy.
Like, wow.
Spano's going to have to open up the wallet for a wellness coach and LVGS.
The wellness coach.
Or the insurance premiums for the whole company will go up because you take on Las Vegas.
Dude, wellness coach is just like, hey, everything you guys have done in Las Vegas to this point, don't do any of those.
Absolutely don't. I'm Contavious, it was cool to see. I mean, I do think that he certainly positioned himself to say like that he believes in this team. We heard the exact same thing from Bruce Brown. Now, if everybody say that, of course, but I do think that both of those guys look at this as, hey, you know what? There's a chance here, and that's something that's meaningful. You're this far into your career. They're going to a season with purpose, and that's exciting for
Stuff
both
matters.
of them.
It is funny because like you go through these interviews where you get essentially nothing from anybody, and every now and again you get something from somebody, like somebody that's that gets traded somewhere and is like shows you that they're not excited or whatever. That stuff they're like the cliches, but every now and again you get like little pieces that show you the way. So I love that, like just a little insight to the actual what's going on.
We had a super chat, Kale.
What?
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you read it, Ryan? It's so far. There's just a light in my way.
Yes, super chat.
From,
I don't know. It says Davis.
It says Lucian
Davis.
Okay.
Is Peyton Watson literally young Will Barton?
Oh, no. Thanks for the $2.
By the way, all super chats go to Brendan Votes gambling fund today.
Dude, aka the bail bond. Yeah. We'll go to the bail bondsman.
The bail bondsman. Sorry, the bail bondsman. For it. I don't really see a similarity there. I think they have different skill sets. I mean, look, as much as we have gotten a view of what Peyton Watson is, I still feel like there's more to be discovered about him. Like
I can't picture him shooting as smoothly as Will Barton yet.
Yeah,
he has like not like a hitch. Like his whole motion is kind of unnatural. But also on the upside, he can literally, like a track start, get the ball and sprint towards the basket so hard. He attacks the basket like amazing. And when he starts cutting, when he starts learning how to take picks and do plays that involve him getting the ball like that, he has Barton-like explosiveness, way more explosiveness potentially, but also I don't feel like he can shoot yet.
Will is a hooper.
Yeah.
He's a street baller.
He was called the Thrill.
He was called the Thrill. Will is like an offensive, like he can make his own shot. He can, whatever. Peyton. What up?
It's Will.
Goat leave.
Goat
leave. Peyton Watson is defense. He's just like a lanky guy. He's a hard worker. I don't see him having any of the offensive skill set that Will Barton has. Do you?
No.
Yeah, right.
Jared Vanderbilt.
You know what it is? Kind of.
He's like Torrey Craig, longer Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig was there today.
Man, he's honestly, I don't think
he was at the Suns game.
He's none of these guys. The only thing he has in common with Will Barton is that they're both kind of like tall and skinny. Yes. I think Peyton Watson is probably taller, not skinnier, but taller, so a little bit.
He's lankier.
Yeah, he does have some pretty long arms, so I don't see it. But good super chat nonetheless. I said that all of this goes to your gambling bill. All super chats that come in vote, and nobody super chatted, so nobody wants you to gamble tonight.
No, we just got one. We got $20 from Steve May that says free vote.
Oh, free vote, Steve May, my guy, man. Heck yeah,
we'll get him out. We'll bail him out. Fine, we weren't gonna. Now we will.
We will, but we were gonna leave him here, man. He's gonna have to.
We were $20 short.
The entire sentence he was going to have to serve there. Shouts to you, Steve May. Let's get out of here, guys. But before we do, I want to say this wraps up. You can get keep that music going there, Kale. That's beautiful. This was a hell of a weekend, man.
Oh my God.
For us, I hope it was for you as well. I hope again, if you're following us on Twitter, if you're following us on YouTube, and obviously downloading the podcast, you saw all the good times we were having. That was real. That was not like a, hey, RG, put on a smile. I'm going to put you on the camera. Man, this was a great time. It was really a great bonding experience for All City. If you guys don't know, All City is the parent company of DNVR and PHNX and CHGO. Our Phoenix friends, our Chicago friends, our frenemies over there who we love and hate. It was a great opportunity for us all to kind of be under one roof, hanging out, competing against each other in silly things, arguing with each other, hanging out, having a good time. To me, it was a 10 out of 10 week, and I'm so thankful for everybody that kind of supported us and was along for the ride. If you haven't caught all of our content, I'm telling you, you can find it there. We got a vlog coming up tomorrow?
Yes, the last one.
The last one,
and it'll be all the games today.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that. So follow that. Andy, thanks for joining us.
It was an honor, guys. That was a blast. Thanks for having me.
Eric?
Man, been a friend of the show for a long time. Never been happier than to be on it today. Adam, much taller in person than I was expecting.
Thank you. Yeah, we get that one all the time. And then RG.
Yeah. So fun. Can we do it again next year?
We can do it again next year. Everybody hit that like button on the way out. See you next time.
Let's go.